Yeah, that sounds about right. Thank you, Montreal, so much for coming to the show. Give it up for the band playing for you tonight. That's a song I'll have stuck in my head never. Just to put you guys at ease, this is not the worst show I've ever done. That would have been about 6 months ago. I performed at San Quentin State Penitentiary in America. In America, prisons are different than they are in Canada in that we have way more of them and we put everyone in them. But San Quentin is just for murderers, basically. You might be wondering, Anthony, how did you get in that situation? Well, I drink. And I'm friends with a lot of musicians. So I'm doing a show and afterwards I'm drinking with a band called Queens of the Stone Age. Very famous, yes. One of the best rock bands of all time. And I'm talking about their tour and they say, oh, we're almost done. We just got to do a couple more shows, and then we're going and doing one show at San Quentin State Penitentiary. And I'm just drunk enough to say, do you need an opener? And like, yeah, that would be great. Please come and do the show with us. I'm very excited. A couple weeks later, they get back to me. They say, Anthony, the prison has approved you to open for us, which I could not believe. And then I get a list of the rules of what I'm not allowed to talk about on stage at San Quentin. And it says no swearing, no religion, no sex, no controversy, nothing that will rile up the inmates. Basically, it's my set list with the word no written in front of everything. So I call the band and I say, guys, I don't think I can do this. I can't follow these rules. I literally cannot follow these rules. And they say, it doesn't matter, Anthony. Whatever you do is cool with us. If you go on stage and they cut your mic immediately, that's even better. That's even cooler. We think it's a good story. That's all I needed to hear. So I fly over to the prison with the band. We drive into the prison. We get out, and again, everyone is a murderer. And it's not a prison like everyone's behind bars. It's like a college campus where murderers are just walking around freely as if they have somewhere to be. I'm trying not to pay any attention. I'm just hanging with the band back in the corner. It's about 10 minutes before showtime. And all of a sudden, I look up, and there's 4 guys surrounding me holding shotguns. They work there. But they're looking at me like I'm about to try to escape. And then another guy walks up and gets right in front of me and goes, Anthony, I'm the warden here at San Quentin State Penitentiary. And I say, nice to meet you. He doesn't look like it's nice to meet me. He says, Anthony, music is one thing, but comedy with prisoners like this, I don't know. We just watched some of your stuff on YouTube. It's offensive, which is what makes it funny. You're my favorite comedian. But with these guys, I don't know, it could go sideways. And I realize he's trying to get me to step down, to say I'm not going to perform if it's going to be a problem, which would have been fine a couple hours before I got in a fucking flight. So I say, Warden, listen, I've had things go sideways all the time. Not a problem for me. What do you want me to do? You want me to do less time? What should I not talk about? And he goes, I just don't know. I don't know that stuff on YouTube. And I feel like, you know what? I'm a professional comedian. I can diffuse this with my sense of humor. So I say, Warden, if the problem is the stuff you saw on YouTube, don't worry. This is gonna be all new material. They don't laugh at all. One of the guys cocks his shotgun. So the warden says, all right, let me give you a tour. Let me walk you around. And this beautiful 27-year-old redhead girl comes and joins us on the tour. The warden turns to us proudly and says, "This is my daughter. This place is so safe because of me, I can bring my daughter to come watch the show." I'm thinking, you can bring your daughter, but I can't tell a joke? So I pull the warden aside and I say, "Listen, the show starts in 5 minutes. Let me be a part of this evening. Let me just go on stage and introduce the band, and then I'll leave." The warden shakes my hand and says, "Thank you, I'd appreciate it. Keep in mind, that is not what I am going to do." So the show's about to start. I'm standing in the wings with the band, and the band's trying to reassure me. They're like, "Anthony, don't worry. Do whatever you want. We're cool." Okay. This old lady gets on stage. She works for the prison. And she says, "I want to thank everyone. I want to thank the crew for putting this together. And now," she turns and looks me right in the eyes, says, "and now, a very nice young man, Anthony." Now, I don't know if you've ever performed in a prison before, but that is the worst way you can be introduced. I walk onto the stage with 200 murderers whistling at me. I take the microphone and I say, "Listen, my name is Anthony Jeselnik. I've been doing this for 17 years. I'm a famous comedian. So if you haven't heard of me, you must have done something pretty fucked up." The place goes crazy. That's exactly the joke they wanted to hear. My mic gets cut off immediately. I drop the mic to the ground. I'm about to introduce the band. And then I look out into the audience, and I see the warden standing in the back with his arms crossed, and his daughter standing next to him. And I can't resist. So I say, "And I want to thank the warden for bringing us his daughter." At this point, you could hear a pin drop. Even the prisoners are like, "We killed the guy, but we're not crazy. Thank God he's leaving after this." I introduce the band. The band walks on stage like, "We should not have told you to do whatever you want." They go up, they start playing, they're amazing. Someone taps me in the shoulder. I turn around, they go, "Anthony, the warden wants to know if you'd like to go watch the show with him." I'm not falling for that. I say, "I'm good right here." The show ends, the band gets off stage. They go, "Let's get the hell out of here right now." I agree. We go to run into the van, and someone grabs my arm. I turn around, and it's the warden. He's very seriously, he goes, "Anthony, I just want to say that next time you come to town, my wife and I are going to have to come out and see you." And I said, "Warden, the next time you see me, I'll be humiliating you on television." This comedian co-hosts The Brilliant Idiots, a podcast that often discusses the role of white privilege in American society. Personally, I think the idea of elevating one group of human beings above the others based on race is disgusting and immoral. Must have been invented by a woman. Please welcome Andrew Schulz.
Montreal, give it up for that serial killer. I shared a bed with a dude last weekend. That was interesting. My buddy was a little weirded out by it. He thought it was kind of gay. He's like, "Dude, if we're gonna do this, we should put some blankets and pillows in the middle of the bed. You know, just create an anti-gay structure. Protect ourselves from the gay." I was like, yeah, that's cool, you know, or you could not fuck me. Just brainstorming here. Pretty sure nothing gay's gonna happen if we just go to sleep and you don't wake up and fuck me in the nighttime. It'd be nice if you didn't need to set up obstacles. Apparently you need a barricade to not fuck me. Because I know if I woke up in the night, I'd just look at you and be like, you know what? Not gonna fuck that guy. Not gonna do it. Apparently he's waking up like, I wanna fuck him. But I'm not gonna climb. That's too much. I'm not climbing. At this hour to climb? Are you crazy? You pull something. He's furious. He's like, nah, bro, you don't do nothing gay to me, bro. You're the fucking gay one. I was like, first of all, if I was gay, what makes you think some blankets and pillows is gonna stop me from getting what I want? If I'm gay, I'm going in. I'm using a pillow so no one hears you. Abortion. Yeah. Guys, I don't know if you noticed, but in the States, they're getting rid of that abortion, man. They're coming for it. People do not like abortion. I was talking to this guy, very anti-abortion. I'm like, bro, just explain it to me, man, why you hate abortion so much. And he goes, because it's killing a baby. I was like, dude, it's not even a baby yet, you know? He goes, yeah, but if you leave it there, it's gonna grow into a baby, so it's a baby. And I was like, you know what? Pedophiles gotta use that logic. That's good. Yeah, she's a teen now, Your Honor. But if you leave her there, she's gonna grow into an adult, so she's an adult. Am I a pedophile or pro-life? You decide. That's the thing. You gotta kill your kids, guys. You gotta kill your kids. If you don't kill them, they get raised into these spoiled little brats. Dude, I was watching this HBO documentary about these two little snobs. It's called Leaving Neverland. Have you guys seen that documentary? It's about these two little bitch-ass kids crying about getting molested by Michael Jackson. That's a best-case scenario molest. You got molested by your hero. Most people get molested by their bus driver. My hero was Michael Jordan. If Michael Jordan molested me, I could walk it off. Probably in the freshest pair of Jordans you ever seen in your life. Like, oh, earn these shits. You know what they said Michael Jackson did to him? Lick their asshole. Everything's molestation now? Is that a fucking licked asshole needs a 4-part documentary? A licked asshole. That's not molestation, that's cleaning. That's what that is, okay? Right there? That's a Billie Jean bidet, you ungrateful little bastard. They were crying about it. He took me and my family to Hawaii. He bought us a house. And then he licked my asshole. I think we know who got the shitty end of the deal, kiddo. And don't you dare judge the parents. All these people out there, how could the parents let it happen? New house. That would not be the toughest decision I'd have to make as a dad. I'm sorry, MJ, you said new house? Bend it, spread it, let's go, kiddo, before your mom gets home. Come on, come on, come on. A licked asshole. If Michael Jordan took that glorious tongue of his and attacked my rim the way he attacked rims in the league, honored. All right, guys, I gotta go. Have a go with that. Be good.
This next performer comes to us all the way from Australia. I've heard people say that Australia has a lot of problems with racism, but that's a lie. I've been there many times, and they are absolutely fine with it. Please welcome Becky Lucas.
Hi, how are yous? Good? Great. Hey, nice. My mum called me the other day. She said, I think you've got this thyroid condition. A lot of the women in our family have it, and you've got all the symptoms. You've got weight fluctuation, skin prone to breakouts, and you're quite irritable and rude. And I was like, well, I fucking hope I've got it. Otherwise, this has just been quite a mean phone call. It happens like that. It's a bit of a mug off. It happens a bit. My friends and I have this thing, we call it the abomination theory. It's this theory we've figured out that in this world there's you, and then there's people who look like you but better. And then there's people who look like you but a bit worse. And we call them your abomination, right? Everyone is one, everyone has one. It's quite beautiful. But what we do is every time we see each other's abomination is we'll give each other a call. I got a call from my friend the other day. He said, I just saw your abomination, worst one yet. She was really sweaty and she was carrying 2 plastic bags full of chicken, just kind of running along the street. And I said, what, was that like an hour ago? Oh, you're a clever crowd, it was me, yeah. I have got some beautiful friends. I've got a friend, she's very beautiful, she's a model. I'm always asking her about it. And the other day I was like, oh, what's the worst thing about being as beautiful as you are? And she said, the worst thing about being as beautiful as I am is that when guys break up with me, I know it's because of my personality. I was like, yeah, that is tough, actually. Yeah, it's funny. I use my phone too much. I always like trying to figure out ways to get off my phone. There's this new thing people are doing. A lot of people are downgrading from their smartphones back to old flip phones. My friend did this. She came over, going out to a restaurant. She said, look, I've got a flip phone again. It's amazing. You know, I'm not going through my emails. I'm not scrolling Instagram, comparing my life to other people's. I just feel so in the moment. I was like, oh, cool. I guess I'm getting the Uber. You've really just sort of outsourced your anxiety to me there, haven't you? It's annoying being online. It does make me very anxious. There's always people fighting. There's always people on one side of the argument, you know, or the other. And it's like, you're probably both wrong. You can be wrong on either side of an argument. You know, for example, a guy who's anti-breastfeeding in public, bad guy, right? But a guy who's really, really pro-breastfeeding in public, also a bad guy. Just really wants to free the nipple. He's like, yeah, I'm a male feminist. Get your tits out. I know there's a lot of nice male feminists, but there's a lot of annoying ones. I feel like a lot of male feminists are like that animal that we tried to introduce to eradicate pests. And they've become more annoying than the original pest. Single at the moment. It's hard to be single. You can't, I'm not naturally confident. I've got a tramp stamp that says don't leave. I also don't know what to do sexually. I don't know, I'm boring. I guess for me there's like 4 basic sex positions. It's like guy on top, girl on top, guy from behind, pissing each other's mouths. But then what? I don't know. Do you know? I don't know. I don't know what to do. So, and I don't want you to think I'm sex positive either. I'm actually quite sex negative. It was the girl the other day, she had a bag saying, eat pussy, it's organic. I was like, okay, I'm having Eggs Benedict. But that's cool that she's empowered. I thought that was great. You know, she's like sexually in charge. But fuck, if the roles are reversed and that was a guy being like, suck dick, it's paleo, you'd have to call the cops. It's disgusting. It's like, I'm ashamed by saying. It's to the point if I see a pregnant woman walking around, I'm like, oh, you're just admitting it. Anyway, thank you guys. I've been Becky Lucas.
If these performers look alike to you, it's because they're identical twins, and also because you're racist. Please welcome the Lucas brothers.
Just by a show of hands, how many people in here are familiar with this place that we're from, Newark, New Jersey?
Yep.
Which ranked the 15th most dangerous city in the country.
And that made us pretty sad because we used to be #1.
Yep. We don't want Newark to get too good.
Newark is getting too good.
We want to keep Newark shitty.
We want to keep Newark shitty.
So we did what we had to do.
We did what we had to do.
We walked up to a group of kids.
That's right.
And we basically tried to convince them to commit more crime.
That's right. For the sake of the city.
Because if Newark gets too good, Amazon might try to move in again.
That's right. And we don't want that shit to happen, man, because we don't trust white dudes with bald heads.
We don't.
Well, we only trust one white dude with a bald head, and that's Stone Cold Steve Austin.
That's right. That's who we trust.
He was a tough SOB.
That's right. So we saw a group of kids. They were playing ice hockey. We walked up to them. We were like, look, kids.
Look, kids.
No more ice hockey.
No more ice hockey.
Why don't you use your athletic ability for something more substantive?
Yep.
Crime.
Yep.
So here's what you do.
Here's what you do.
If you see Jeff Bezos.
Is it Bezos or Bezos?
That's a good question.
Is it Bezos or Bezos? Bezos? Call that nigga Bezos. Fuck him.
All right. If you see Jeff Bezos.
If you see Jeff Bezos
sitting in his car alone.
Sitting in his car alone.
Listening to Third Eye Blind.
That's right. And we know he listens to Third Eye Blind. We have irrefutable evidence that he listens to Third Eye Blind. We're going to prove it to y'all motherfuckers tonight using a little bit of logic and some empirical data. Here's the logic. It's an Aristotelian syllogism. This is the first premise. All white people listen to Third Eye Blind. Jeff Bezos is white.
Yes.
Therefore, that motherfucker listens to Third Eye Blind.
Yep.
Back to the kids.
Back to the kids.
Mm-hmm.
If you see Jeff Bezos.
If you see Jeff Bezos.
Sitting in his car alone.
Sitting in his car alone.
Listening to Third Eye Blind.
Mm-hmm.
Just do 3 things.
3 things.
Rob that motherfucker.
That's right.
Turn the music off.
Mm-hmm.
And tell him Bernie Sanders sent you.
That's right. Them 2 niggas don't like each other for some reason. We think it has everything to do with wealth inequality.
That's right.
So that's why we supported Bernie Sanders in 2016.
That's right.
To help him try to win the election.
Yep.
That's right. That's right. That's right. We helped that nigga lose.
That's right.
We had a bully growing up.
Mm-hmm. His name was Pierre.
That's right. And the nigga wasn't even a French existentialist.
Nope. He was just some light-skinned nigga with braces.
That's it. But don't let the braces fool you. You can still commit terror with braces.
That's right. He would fuck with us whenever he wanted to.
That's right.
I remember one time we were coming home from class, and we were following these girls.
I wouldn't say following in this day and
No,
age.
that's
You
a good
should probably
point.
use a more appropriate, modern language, you know what I mean?
We were tracking these girls
That's right,
home.
That's right.
Because we were infatuated with them. We wanted to ask them out to the school dance, and we got within 15 feet of them.
And we were about to reach out and call their names, and then Pierre jumped right in front of us. I think the nigga scaled the projects. He looked us in his eyes, and he called us
Mary Fake and Ashley Olsen.
That's right. A cheap pun.
But it did crush in the hood.
That's right.
It did. It did. But we got the last laugh.
That's right.
Because eventually Pierre got arrested for stealing bikes.
That's right.
How do we know? They were our bikes.
That's right.
So the cops brought us down to the police station to identify the culprit.
And normally we wouldn't snitch on a motherfucker because our father did 20 years in prison, and he got snitched on, and he told us never to snitch on a dude, but it was Pierre, so fuck that nigga.
So the cop grabs us, takes us to the lineup, points at Pierre, and he's like, is that the nigga who, It was a black cop.
It was a black cop.
He's like, is that the nigga who stole your tandem bicycle?
That's right, that's right.
And this is what we said in response. This is what we said in response. We were like, you got it, dude. Thank you guys.
This comedian says that you can do just as well betting on sports as you can having a career in comedy. But if that's true, how come no one ever murdered Michael Jordan's dad over a bad joke? Please welcome Trevor Wilson.
Right on. Nice to be here. I'm happy to be out of the house. I am not fun anymore. I used to be a lot of fun. I used to drink, smoke, do drugs, all kind of fun shit. Now, if you invite me to a party, I am just gonna complain about a lack of chairs. Why would you have all these people over and not have the appropriate number of seats? You were not ready for this shindig, bud. I grew up. That's what happened. I grew up and I didn't want to. Never intended on growing up. I became a comedian. That's the never, never land of careers. I work an hour a night. It's awesome. I have a lot of friends who grew up right away. Always tried to talk me into it. Talk me into abandoning comedy, getting a real job, becoming a normal person. They did not do a good job of that. You ever notice those friends that try to convince you to settle down, use great till it loses all meaning? Those friends were always like, what are you doing? Out there living your dream. Traveling the world, seeing new places, meeting interesting people. It's not a life. You got to do what I did. I did it the right way. Went to school, got the degree, then I got the job. Now I got the girl. We got the house. We're in the burbs. We got the kids. It's great. So great out there in the burbs. Oh, every day. Every day in the summer, me and the wife out there in the garden, working away, working the land. At no point in our 30-year friendship have I ever expressed even the passing interest in gardening. Every weekend we're out there, we got flowers, we got some herbs, we got vegetables. Oh, it's so great. And when we're done planting all that stuff, we just sit out on the patio and we look at the garden. Oh, it's beautiful. Admiring the work we did, just sitting there, drinking iced tea. I've never been a fan of iced tea as a drink. Every day, I enjoy a glass of it, or so I'm told. I'm like, that doesn't sound fun at all. They're like, oh, well, what did you do last weekend? That was so fun then, to spit on my gardening. It's like, well, I had to fly out to Los Angeles for some meetings, ended up getting really drunk with some British guys at a podcast festival, and then went to a luchador burlesque show and got really high with Ron Funches. Like, what does that even mean? Those aren't words. That's not a weekend. This is a weekend. Last weekend, our eldest, Jaden, we had him in a soccer tournament. That was such a great time. Oh, we were out there all weekend at the soccer tournament, brought the lawn chairs. We got a nice big sun umbrella we got from the Costco. Oh, so great. Don't even take it out of the van. That's how many tournaments we're at this year. Oh, it's great. You know, it's a slow game, soccer, especially when it's played by the 3 to 5 year olds. A lot of them are still very, very terrified of the ball, so. But it's great. Oh, it's so great. They're getting exercise, meeting friends, so great. I mean, we couldn't stay for the whole tournament. Jaden crapped himself in the third game there. They had him in net. He had a lot of downtime, got bored, sat down, took a crap. Oh, but other than that, it was great. Just a great time. And then we went over to Doug and Judy's, the in-laws. They're just around the corner now, which is, oh, so great. Oh, I can hear them from the backyard right over the fence all the time, talking. So great. But we love going over there. You know, Doug will fire up the barbecue, get some brats, some burgers on there, which is just great. Judy, she'll entertain the kids, take them out to the pool. Oh, so great. Because that gives me a second. That gives me a second to go into the garage and find an old cushion to weep into. It's real important to have some me time set aside every day. To muffle a cry into a cushion. I never wanted to be that guy, but it's happening now. Here's what happened. I met a gal. That's how it starts. Fell in love with a gal. We bought ourselves a condo, because fuck gardening. Now we live together in our condo, raising 2 adorable rabbits. Yep, that's apparently a thing that can happen to you as an adult. You can own rabbits as a pet. I didn't know this. I thought when you got to a certain age, you graduated. But no, you can have rabbits. Here's how it happened. I fell in love with a woman who owned a rabbit, and then she convinced me that the rabbit was lonely. I don't know how she pulled this off. Women are tricky. They can convince you of a lot of impossible things. So she let me believe the rabbit was lonely, so I went out and adopted her a second rabbit. And now I have 2 rabbits who don't like each other. At all, even remotely. I no longer have a dining room. I have 2 separate rabbit habitats. Because if I put them in one pen, one of them will bite the other's penis off. They're surprisingly clean pets, rabbits. Both my rabbits are litter trained, which was easy to do. They shit where they eat. You just put the food where you want them to shit. Bingo, bango, bongo. Problem solved. In a related story, I no longer eat chocolate chips I find on the floor. That's a mistake you make once, yeah. Unless I watch it fall, I don't assume I found free candy anymore in my home. Rabbits are nice pets in the fact that they make no noise, but they're annoying pets in the fact that they make no noise. Their mood is constantly up for interpretation. My girlfriend suffers from anxiety. She's constantly worried something's wrong with the rabbits. She'll come to me often and say, I think something's wrong with the rabbits. And I have to say, why? She'll say they keep hiding. Okay, that could mean something's wrong. But I also remember you made me watch 2 hours of rabbit videos once. And in all those videos, they said a rabbit's favorite thing to do is hide. So maybe the rabbits are great. And I have to be that guy. I have to be the rabbits are great guy. Because I've discovered how much it costs to have a professional tell me there's nothing wrong with my fucking rabbit. You guys have been terrific. Thanks so much, Montreal.
Originally from Sydney, Nova Scotia, this comic moved to Toronto because he found Sydney way too friendly and affordable. Please welcome Nick Beaton.
I'm very excited to be here. I was shocked when Donald Trump got elected, like most of the world. Then Doug Ford got elected Premier of Ontario, and it started to make sense to me. I started to understand how these populist candidates with no policy get elected because they rile up the old white vote. They get old white people out voting for them. This is what I want to say to the young, woke, Twitter activist generation. You can do all of that stuff, right? But also vote. The voting part is the most important part. Retweeting is not voting. Because old white people vote. They outvote young people in every single election, and there's less of them because it's important to them. It matters. They know how important it is because they grew up in a time where they had to conserve tin and got oranges for Christmas. Right, so voting matters to them. They circle election day on the calendar. They stare at it hard for 3 months. They wake up at 6 a.m. the morning of, eat a hard-boiled egg, and ruin our futures. And it's easy to rile up the old white vote. All you gotta do to get the old white vote on your side is just go, you know, you're losing your country, right? They go, you're goddamn right. I'm losing my country. Losing this country to immigrants coming in here and taking our jobs. Like, yeah, you wanted to open a kebab shop. I don't understand the kids either, though. I don't understand the youth of today. You know when I realized I don't understand kids? Is when I saw them with fidget spinners. That was my first official old man moment. I was just like, look at these kids with their dumb shit. Get a haircut. I hated fidget spinners. Then I thought about them for like a minute. I was like, actually, you know what? This might be the best invention we've ever come up with. Right? It sums up where we are in our society just so perfectly, right? Just the name fidget spinner. Like, hey, you're riddled with anxiety. Spin this bullshit. We got nothing for you. We're not even trying anymore. Here's some shit to spin until everything goes dark. Just have that sudden creepy feeling of your own mortality. Spin that shit. Just read an article on climate change titled Past the Point of No Return. Spin that shit. Just have your second kid with your high school sweetheart and realize, fuck, I am gay. Spin that shit. Spin away the gay. Which of course you can't do. You can't spin away the gay, right? No one actually ever said you could until tonight. But what they used to say is they said you could pray away the gay. They believed in gay conversion. There's people who thought they could make kids who thought they were gay not gay through prayer, right? It's not a foolproof system by any means. My kid thinks he's gay. I'm gonna make him not gay. Well, how are you gonna do that? Well, I'm gonna send him to a camp with a bunch of other kids who think they're gay. That ought to pound the gay right out of him, I'm pretty sure. Of course, no one would ever believe that gay conversion was even possible if we had proper sex ed. Can't have that in this country either. Can't have any fun things, right? Can't have sex ed because there's parents out there who don't want their kids taught sex ed. I think the parents who don't want their kids taught sex ed don't realize that the ed part stands for education. It's gonna be a trained professional who comes in to teach your children. It's not gonna be some creepy weirdo named Ed who walks into a room full of kids with his hand in his pants like, I'm sex ed. And then just turns on porn like, there you go, kids. It's a man loving a woman right there. And that's the second man coming in to love the same woman. They are loving her 6 ways from Sunday, I'll tell you that much. A lot of love. This is a good one. Stop crying, kids. Stop crying. Because if you don't let a trained professional, a teacher, teach your kids about sex, you know who has to? You. And no parent wants to have that conversation with their kids, so let somebody jump on the grenade for you. Right? My dad gave me the sex talk when I was a kid. It was terrible. It's one of the worst ones on record. The only thing I can give him credit for is when he chose to do it. We were driving home and we were only 2 blocks away. End game. Not a lot of room for follow-up questions. Starts out the sex talk with us. So Nick, you know what sex is, right? I'm like, no. I'm a child. I'm an empty vessel. Fill me with knowledge. Why would you think I came pre-programmed with that information? He's like, shit. All right. Well, sex is when a man puts his penis into a woman's vagina. And then I went, ugh. Then we pulled to the driveway. That was it. End of sex talk. That was all he got. He's like, yeah, penis and vagina. I gave him the basics. I'm not gonna tell him that every now and again she's gonna wanna get flipped over. He'll figure that shit out on his own. Right? He'll be on top, she'll look bored, he'll flip her over, tug her hair, call her a whore. I'm not gonna tell him that now. He's a kid, for Christ's sake. That's advanced shit. But why not teach sex ed? Why not? Everybody here has sex. Everybody wants to have sex. It's a basic human desire. Why are we so afraid to talk about it and teach it? And if they gave us comprehensive sex ed in schools, it would be the most beneficial class we ever took. Think of all the useless shit that you learn in school. I never practically used trigonometry one day in my life. My dick has come in handy a lot of times. Maybe teach me about my dick, so the first time I jerk off, I'm not like, that's not pee, I'm dying. Thanks so much, you guys have been so fun. Have a great one.
This gentleman is a talented comic, actor, writer, dad, and friend. Of course, tonight, he's here solely in the role of dad, and he's not mad at any of you. He's just disappointed. Please welcome Ron Funches.
I'm doing very well. My career's going great. I get to come see people like you. I've been doing a lot of traveling. I did a show recently in Australia, which was a very, very big deal for me. I've always wanted to go to Australia because I love their voices. And I am not making fun. I know I am not allowed to make fun of other people's voices. I am aware I sound like a Disney bear that teaches you about responsibility. You got to tie your shoes. Pay your taxes, that's the rules. But Australia was not very exotic. Nothing Australian happened until the last day. I was in the gym on the treadmill, watching the news. I see the little news tracker go by, and it says, toddler attacked by dingo in Sydney. I was like, okay, this is what I was waiting for. The dingoes really eat the babies over there. Oh, I had a great time. Wonderful time. I got to see some new animals. I got to pet some animals I never pet before. My softness game is off the charts right now. Pet so many new things. I got to pet a wallaby. Thank you. You get it. The rest of you have obviously never even been close to a wallaby. You would know the level of respect that deserves. That's a whole new level of soft. You think you know soft here? You think a puppy is soft? Fuck a puppy. Puppy feel like a Brillo pad to me now. I almost lived my dream of petting a koala. Got real close, but they would not allow it. I found out while I was there that apparently most koalas are infected with chlamydia. Don't judge them. It's just a fact that I learned that I am sharing with you. Most koalas have chlamydia, which is crazy. I didn't even know koalas went to Coachella. Hi, I'm Ron. Those are the type of jokes I enjoy. That's what I like. In my notebook, that joke is called Koala Coachella. I like it because it makes me think of koalas dancing in the desert with glow sticks. One koala wants to wear like an Indian headdress, and the other koalas are like, I don't know about that, girl. Thank you for your time.
Well, folks, that's our show. But before you go, I'd like to take this opportunity to tell each and every one of you from the bottom of my heart, get the fuck out. Good night.